Everyone loves cake and cookies. But did you know that behind these delicious treats, there's a lot of science happening? Yet there are countless processes and ingredients that work together to create these beloved foods. Let's dive into some of the coolest concepts behind baking and cooking. First up, let's talk about fats and oils. At first glance, the difference is obvious. Oils are liquids and fats are usually solids, but there is much more to the story. Oils are often used in cakes because they help bind flour with water, forming gluten proteins. These proteins give elasticity to the batter, holding all the ingredients together during baking. That's why cakes are moist and tender. Butter, on the other hand, is the go-to for cookies because its solid form makes the dough easier to handle. Butter's saturated fatty acids keep the dough tightly packed, but once it melts in the oven, the dough spreads into a perfect cookie shape. Even though they work differently, both fats and oils are essential to creating sweet treats we love. Next, let's talk leavening agents, a lesser known but super important part of baking. What is a leavening agent, you ask? Well, it's the ingredient that makes baked goods rise. Some common examples include yeast, baking soda, and baking powder. They may seem like small additions, but they make a huge difference. During baking, these agents react with acids, like buttermilk, to produce carbon dioxide bubbles. These bubbles are what make cakes fluffy and cookies soft and airy. Without them, your baked goods would turn out to be dense and flat, basically bread bricks. So the next time you bite into a light, airy cake, thank the leavening agent for doing its job. Moving beyond sweets, let's explore the Maillard reaction, a key process behind many of our savory favorites. Like French fries. The Maillard reaction happens when heat is applied to foods that contain both carbs and proteins. This reaction gives us that golden brown color, delicious flavor, and mouth-watering aroma. For example, when potatoes hit 140 degrees Celsius, proteins and sugars react to create that crispy, golden exterior that we all crave. So it is not caramelization. It is the Maillard reaction, simply working its magic. Now, let's talk corn, a staple ingredient in many cultures, but particularly in Mexico. Nixtamalization is the process of treating corn to change it both physically and chemically into hominy. This process involves soaking the corn and cooking the corn in an alkaline solution, typically lime water, which softens the kernels and removes their outer hulls. The alkaline environment also makes the corn more nutritious by increasing the bioavailability of niacin, vitamin B3, which cannot be obtained from corn itself. This ancient technique, which originated in Mesoamerica over 6,000 years ago, is still used today to make tortillas, sopes, arepas, and pupusas. It's incredible how this century-old method continues to shape foods we enjoy in modern cuisine today. Finally, let's explore fermentation. While it might sound like a gross, smelly process, it's actually fascinating and delicious. Fermentation occurs when microorganisms like yeast or bacteria convert sugars into acids, gases, or alcohol in the absence of oxygen. These microbes produce byproducts like lactic acid or ethanol, which not only preserve the food but also enhance its flavor and texture. This process gives us food like yogurt, sauerkraut, and even beer. Beer making dates back to 12,000 years ago and became hugely popular during the Babylonian era. The key ingredient? Hops, which add flavor and preserve the drink. Now you know, food truly is a science. Behind every tortilla, chocolate chip cookie, or cup of yogurt lies a series of amazing processes and hard work. So the next time you take a bite of your favorite food, take a moment to appreciate the science and effort that made it possible.